Okay, so I want to make sure that I have a full understanding of what you're saying to me. You think that they have Roman Reigns on this run of being the longest reigning champion in the modern era because he beat leukemia twice? You think this is like a charity case?
Yeah, I do.
That's the craziest reason I've ever heard anyone have for why they think Roman Reigns is on this run.
Well, maybe they should have did a Make-A-Wish for him then, instead of giving him this long of a reign.
You think they should have done a Make-A-Wish thing for Roman? Is that what you think this is? You think this is just a straight charity situation where they're just...
What it should be, when Roman Reigns comes out, they should have the Make-A-Wish soundtrack for him when he comes out.
How many times have you commented that on some post you've seen on Facebook where people are just shitting on Roman Reigns, that he's a Make-A-Wish kid?
Listen, I gave you proof. I sent you text messages of the comments. Like, I could go on for days on how so many hundreds of thousands of fans that watch wrestling, devoted fans. I mean, I'm not anymore, but hundreds of thousands of devoted fans are tired of it. That's what I think is so hilarious. They're tired of it. And I know when he comes out to wrestle, I know so many people turn the channel. I know they do. Because they know what's going to happen.
Hold on. So you think people are turning the channel when Roman Reigns is on? You think hardcore devoted wrestling fans are turning the channel when Roman Reigns is on TV?
The only reason if they're not turning it is they are hoping that they finally decide to let him lose. That's the only reason why that they would keep that channel on.
But,
other than that...
Dude, that's the point. People are tuning in because they want to see him lose. They want someone to be the guy. That's the point of a heel world champion. Someone's got to be the guy.
Listen, man, it's a fake world champion.
We don't use the F word, Steve.
Well, we're using it right now with him because he is fake.
Because you feel as though his family wins all his matches.
And they do. I don't have to watch wrestling to see that.
The fact that you know it tells me you watch wrestling.
I don't. I swear, I don't watch it. I read all the comments. I read all the comments. So then I post a couple, yawn faces, because it's the same boring stuff. WWE is not even close. They will never come. They can't hold WWE's jockstrap when The Rock and Stone Cold and Macho Man and all them...
Dude, are you seriously going on about the Attitude Era again?
They can't hold a candle to that era. They never will. It'll never
You're
be like
crazy.
That era ever again.
They're making more money now. Look, listen, and I'm having this conversation with you while I'm wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin Smoking Skull t-shirt on a Monday night because I'm this big of a wrestling nerd. But man, like it's better now than it was in the Attitude Era.
How do you think it's better now when you have the same person constantly coming out and the same results happening every time the guy comes out?
You don't think this is better than them playing hot potato with the world title every week in the 90s? This is way better. The world title means something whenever it's on, whenever Roman's carrying it for this long. It matters. It matters so much they had to make a consolation prize and make the new world heavyweight title because it matters so much that he has this belt.
What does it matter for?
Because when someone beats him, when someone beats Roman, they're gonna definitely be the man. They are going to be the guy. They're going to be the guy. They're strapping the company to his back and putting a rocket next to it and shooting him to the moon.
The only way, I shouldn't say reason, the only way that he's going to finally, and it's going to happen, obviously, because you know as well as I do, if it keeps going like this for another 1,000 days, nobody's going to watch that show.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
100%
They might watch it for other wrestlers, but they sure as shit ain't going to watch it for him.
You really think people aren't watching for Roman?
No, because they know what's going to happen. Why would I look? If I was watching a UFC and
you'd be one of a small handful of people, because not a whole hell of a lot of people are tuning into that.
Yes, they are.
I mean, okay.
That's real.
I've seen Herb Dean as a referee. You can't tell me there's not predetermined outcomes in the UFC. I've seen it. I've been there. Well, I know there's predetermined outcomes that happen in MMA. I know that for a fact.
Well, if it is for a fact, then why doesn't somebody have a belt for 2,000 days? Because it doesn't happen.
Because none of them are as charismatic as Roman Reigns. They could carry a belt for 2,000 days.
How do you think that he is that? How do you think he's that charismatic? He does nothing. His moves in the ring are like slow motion. He lays on top of somebody saying how big his arm is.
Guys, this is my dude, Steroid Steve.
My arm is so big.
He has no idea he's on the podcast right now. So, wait, you think Roman's not even an entertaining wrestler?
No, he is terrible on the microphone, for one.
Okay, now he used to be bad on the mic. He cuts a good promo.
He's not that entertaining at all to watch.
So you find nothing about Roman Reigns' current character to be entertaining? Nothing?
I can tell you how the arena is. 70,000 people in the arena. Okay? Roman Reigns comes out. They start their wrestling match. Well, he's going to get ready to lose. All of a sudden, here comes his family. 35,000 of them just put their hands up in the air and said, well, this is boring.
But you're leaving out so many important pieces to the puzzle, though.
There isn't, because it's the same shit.
Because Roman's music hits and that crowd pops. 50% of them are cheering, putting the ones up. 50% of them are booing, hating his guts, because he's taken away something that meant something to them. They wanted to see someone dethrone him, and he made sure they didn't, by hook or by crook.
No, he didn't do anything.
Were you a fan of Ric Flair?
He didn't make sure of anything. The Vince McMahons and the writers are the ones that decided that.
Well,
he didn't do shit.
Well, yeah, but that's goes without saying. That's unnecessary to even bring up. Were you a fan of Ric Flair?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the old days, you want to talk Macho Man, you're talking Attitude Era, so you were a fan of Ric Flair. What made Ric Flair...
I shouldn't say I was a fan. I should say that he was like The Rock and Razor and D-Generation X. He was like the funniest. We couldn't wait to see him because of his mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had the gift of gab. He cut a great promo, absolutely. But what did those promos Ric Flair did? What did they do? Do you know what they did? They made people want to see him lose. Dusty Rhodes was such a great babyface because everyone wanted Dusty to be Ric Flair. Because they couldn't be Ric Flair, so they wanted Dusty to beat him.
But
Roman Reigns generates that exact same kind of heat. The difference is the fans who hate him can't deny that this version of Roman Reigns really, truly, finally is the guy. He's the guy. And I say that as a Cody Rhodes mark, and I wanted Cody to win so bad.
Listen,
and he took it away.
You can't say he's the guy. You can't say he's the guy because I want you to actually tell me, since you are, look, you got a podcast on nothing but wrestling. You know wrestling like how you put your underwear on, okay? You know which way it goes. Tell me the last time Roman Reigns won a match on his own.
I can't remember the last time Roman won a match completely clean on his own.
All right.
I recently talked about that on the show that you're currently on. You didn't know, but yeah, you're on the podcast right now.
Oh, that's good. Finally, you decided to grace my presence on your podcast.
Yeah. You're live on the podcast right now.
So look here,
Cena. Yeah. Hey, comment from my illegal brother-in-law Joe here on Instagram as we're live that you didn't know you were live, but now you do, and you've agreed to everything legally. He beat Cena clean.
Huh?
He beat John Cena clean.
Right, but I'm saying
that was 2 years ago, but he beat Cena clean.
Look, you can count on one hand in the last 1,000 days, or however many days he's had that title, that he's won by himself. Now, if you want to talk about, maybe I'd have a different opinion on him if they did it like they did it when Ric Flair was the 18-time world champ.
16,
now, if Roman Reigns would have won the belt, at least 12 times already. Let's just say he would win and lose, win and lose, win and lose. I think that would be better for him than what they're doing to him now.
You think it's better to win it a bunch of times and play hot potato with it than to carry it and have this long reign?
Yes, because look, when you were watching the UFC and Silva lost...
I still watch it peripheral. It's occasional.
Yeah, so when Silva lost to Weidman because he wanted to mess around and act goofy and got knocked out.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me the next time they fought, and unfortunately he broke his leg with a kick, that they weren't ready to see Silva win the title back. That would be the same concept with Roman. But now what they're doing is everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, I'm saying hundreds of thousands of people are tired of seeing the same garbage. Then you're telling me the writers can't think of anything that they can possibly do but say, well, we're going to have the family come out and we're going to have the family interfere to let Roman win again. Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Well, yeah, it's a great idea. You've been doing it for 2 years. You can't think of something else?
So when do you think he should have lost it?
Should have lost it when Cody was wrestling him. Should have lost it then.
See, I
think his downfall...
I don't entirely disagree.
A lot of downfall... His downfall with a lot of fans happened when Cody lost because of interference again. And again, and again, and again. It's boring. Like I said.
My issue with the way he beat Cody was that he beat Cody that way at WrestleMania. I think he should have beat Cody clean. And I wanted Cody to win. Everyone who knows me, listens, watches the podcast knows I'm a huge Cody Rhodes mark. Cody Rhodes is adult Jeremy's Hulk Hogan compared to my kid love of Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Cody Rhodes leaving WWE, going to the Indies in 2016, joining the Bullet Club, joining the Elite, all that is what made me really get back into pro wrestling. Because it was just him doing his own thing, betting on himself. The story is so good. I wanted Cody to win. But I'm okay that Cody didn't win. I wish he would have. I think he maybe should have. But if he was going to beat Cody, he should have beat Cody clean.
Right, but it hasn't happened. Like I said, you can't even count to 5. You can't even give him 5 matches out of all the matches that he's wrestled that he's won clean. And I get it. You know, all good things come to an end. Just like you told me, hey, there's nobody left in the UFC even worth watching UFC anymore. Well, I feel the same way about what's going on with the WWE now.
It's in one of its strongest eras it's been in. Like, you remember several years ago, me, you, Mindy, we were all out. I think we were out watching a UFC, and I told you then, this may have been 2018, something like that. I said, pro wrestling is about to be on a boom, and it's going to be bigger than the UFC again. And you said I was full of shit.
Well,
and it's bigger than the UFC. The valuation may be different, but that valuation's bullshit. That valuation's some nonsense, and if I was a shareholder, I'd have a lot of questions, because that valuation makes no sense to me. The UFC is not more valuable than the WWE. Not even close.
I'm not saying, I like the UFC, but I'm not saying that I watch every pay-per-view, because there's been a handful of cards this year that isn't even worth, being on just ESPN. They shouldn't even have it on television. That's how bad the cards are.
I caught a little bit of what they put on ABC over the weekend. Caught some of those prelims, and there were some decent fights there. That Ian kid, he did really good.
Yeah.
But
because
BKFC is way better than the UFC. Way better, way more exciting. And I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, but I'd rather watch BKFC than watch the UFC right now. And I'm a grappler, like by trade. Yeah. But I like seeing these dudes bare knuckle, just throwing bones at each other.
And I've watched bare knuckle fighting a handful of times, and it's basically, the UFC without gloves and kicking.
Yeah, it's just a little more fast paced. It's a smaller area to fight in. They start about 3 feet away. But it's
right, and I would rather watch bare knuckle fighting over just regular top ranked boxing, because I think boxing's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, I mean, who watches? Nobody really watches boxing too much anymore.
No. But anyway, getting back to this Roman thing, I just think they shot themselves in the foot with him when his family came out and beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Because now, and all you got to do is look at the comments, and these are fans. These are bigger fans than, I like entertainment. I'm not saying that I watch wrestling every single week that it's on and every pay-per-view, but how many comments after comments about Roman Reigns is boring. Same old Roman, same old storyline. They got to change it. And that's what I'm saying. If you would have made him a 10 or even an 8 or a 10-time champion already, I think it would have been better than what's going on with him right now, because so many people are sick of seeing the same stuff. Look, if you ate a hot dog every day for 365 days a year, you'd get sick of a hot dog.
Man, I like a good hot dog.
Well, you still get sick of it. This is basically what it is.
So you're saying Roman Reigns is the hot dog of pro wrestling?
Well, I'm saying that when you eat the same food every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you're not going to want to eat that food anymore.
But let me ask you this. We're going to close this out with this.
All right.
If you ate a hot dog 364 days out of the year, and on day 365, someone gave you a steak, how much better would that steak taste?
And that's where I'm coming from when I'm saying, just like you should have agreed, or just like you did agree, Cody should have won that match at WrestleMania. It would have changed everybody's outlook.
I would be okay if Cody won. I'm not upset that he lost. I may have cried a little. but I think he should have. I think Roman should have won clean. I do agree with that. But they're telling us the story. They're telling the story. I'm listening.
Dinner. That was the steak dinner of the 364 hot dog days.
Maybe,
and it didn't happen.
But maybe it's not. Maybe it needs to be Seth Rollins. Roman can't beat Seth. That's the way the math works. And Seth can't beat Cody. So maybe Seth needs to take the belt off of Roman so Cody can take the belt off of Seth.
Hey, I don't care who wins the belt, as long as it's not the same old storyline. That's all I'm saying. These writers have to, I don't know. They have to come up with something different. It's just, to me, it's boring to watch him. It's just boring. Because it's the same story. Then that's why I turned it. Just like a lot of people turn the channel and they're like, well, we know what's going to happen. I'll watch the post. I'll watch the pay-per-view again when it's over, because I'm not going to sit here for a half hour and watch his family come out and win another match for him.
But wouldn't you be mad if you missed it? If you missed the guy beating him?
No, not really. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like I was, in the late 90s when, or the 2000s, early 2000s. I'm not that fan anymore.
Well, I think you just got to get there again. And we will get you there. I'll get you there.
When Roman loses the belt, I'll get there again. Because then I'll see what kind of storyline they got after he loses.
I'm going to work to get you there, Steve. All the fans that don't say the F word are going to work to get you there. Mark the Monster is going to work to get you there. We're going to make you be a pro wrestling fan again, Steve. Yeah, Steve. I'll get you there, buddy.
That's okay. Like I said, entertainment's entertainment, but you can only take so much of boring entertainment before you don't watch it.
I don't know, man. You still watch the UFC?
That's what I'm saying. Not every time. So it's just like that. That's what I'm saying. But if I'm live, I appreciate it. Finally after months and months of saying, hey, I'm going to get you on the show.
Hey, man, I tried to get you on here, and then you weren't available. So
well, you know what? It's good. I'm glad you told me like 3/4 of the way through the conversation, because probably I would have got nervous.
I figured as much. So while I was on the phone with you, I set everything up and I started recording and went live while you were mid-conversation. That's why I didn't tell you.
Right. And I had something inside of me saying, I know I'm live. I know I am, because the way you were questioning me didn't sound like a normal Jeremy talking to me at BW Dreams.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get you on. Everyone who's checking us out right now, and those who are going to be listening to this on Spotify or watching the replay on YouTube, this is my dude, Steroid Steve, probably one of my oldest friends on the planet. We appreciate him coming on. He didn't know he was going to be on the podcast today. He just wanted to call me and bust my chops about Roman Reigns and give me shit about wrestling. So,
Yes. And we still love each other the next day.
That's right. Even though I know you're secretly a Roman Reigns fan, and you just don't want to admit it.
Hey, and you'll know what I'm talking about when I say this to you, and I'll talk to you later. 1 year today, my friend.